And welcome back to another edition of the Pelican Sports Report. I am Doug Gann, excited to bring you this interview. A young man we met back a little earlier this year and is going on to big things, but we'll talk about that as we get into it. And want to welcome in out of Lake Charles and Bishop Noland High School is Jordan Buckhalter. Jordan, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Look, you've had a pretty fantastic year, a career certainly in there, capped off with a state championship. Before we get into a lot of things, take me through that game and how that felt.
Um, Definitely for me and my team, it was a game that we have been hoping for and building for from the beginning of the season. And it's always been in the back of our minds. Always been a championship rooted team, knowing that we had the talents to go win a championship. So getting there, it was more about getting done what we set out to do than trying to achieve more than we thought was possible.
And you guys play in the ACEL organization, the Association of Christian Educators of Louisiana, and that's the Division I state title that you won. So congratulations on that. Probably one of the most excited people was head coach Gabe Fontenot. Tell us a little bit about your time there playing with Coach Gabe.
Me and Coach Gabe have a great connection, man. It's just like from we share a similar backstory, man. We both wanted to get into basketball, has a little bit of trouble at start, but we're both people who just love to work hard and do things the right way. And for us to be able to be the first team to get him the championship that we know he deserved for being there for us the way he always was, it meant a lot to me and the team to be there for him the way we were able to for that game.
So, folks that don't know, tell us a little bit about Bishop Noland High School, where it's located. Know it's in Lake Charles, but kind of pinpoint where it's at for folks.
So Bishop Noland High School is in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in the Graywood Plantation neighborhood. And we're a pretty new high school. I think we started up around 5 years ago, and that makes me the second graduating class. We're a pretty small knit school, and we have a huge focus on academics, but a lot of the kids in our school and a lot of the staff have made it a focus to put a lot of emphasis on athletics. And I feel like that's been able to get us to the point we are today, to where we're winning state championships. And not just in basketball, we're really getting a lot better in a lot of other sports too.
And I've got to believe the more that you're seeing raising the trophies, the more that does good for getting folks on campus as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Just showing people that we can win at our level and showing people that coming over to EDS is going to be able to benefit us and benefit them in the long run. It's definitely helping people to decide to come over there instead of going to some other high schools they could have possibly went to.
And then look, there's a lot of opportunities around that Lake Charles area. So you were there. How long was your time at EDS?
So prior to EDS, I was at another high school, St. Louis Catholic, for about a year before I ended up transferring about a month into my sophomore year. Was able to make it for the basketball season my sophomore year, and I've been there ever since and graduated pretty recently.
How was graduation? How big was your graduating class?
Well, graduation was big, but my graduating class was, I want to say 14 or 12 people. So
how's your when you grow up in that tight knit of a group? Of course, everybody knows everybody. You're going through the same wins and same losses and struggles and great moments. What's the high school experience like in a senior class of 14?
Well, I'd like to say that we're just a very tight-knit family. I've been around the same people for the last 3 years, seeing the same teachers, and I love it at the end of the day, being able to see my friends, my teachers, and that close-knit family connection we have really just allows us to push each other in ways that I feel like you can't really do at other schools. You know, if you see one person that's, they could be doing a little bit more, you have no problem going up to them and just telling them, hey, I expect a little bit more out of you. It's just a great family experience.
Look, I've seen that. We've covered the ACEL championships now. Probably this is year 5 of it. And you see families just growing up through the organizations on there. Do you develop any relationships with the other schools, being that you play each other so much?
So one of the teams that I can relate to the most when it comes to that is SWLA. It's another team stationed in Lake Charles, and we've been playing them consistently for, I want to say 4 or 5 years now, ever since the program started up. And I know a few of those guys. I didn't really have much of a relationship with any of them until I started playing them, but we realized we had such a close connection through basketball. Actually, recently I had a signing day honor held by my school, and one of the players from SWA showed up and was there to congratulate me for my signing. So that was pretty nice.
See, and that's what we're talking about, and that's one of the things that we've seen. Of course, the Knights from SWLA seem to be in a championship, whether it's football or soccer all the time. They're out there battling for it. So, the richness of this ASOL organization in Lake Charles really is solid.
Yeah, of course. It's always one of the games on our schedule we always circle the calendar for. We always pack out the gym. It's as close to our homecoming as you're going to get to full capacity. So we're always ready to play them. They put up a good fight, and hopefully this year we're able to keep going with the win streak.
So, somebody says to you, you're from a small school. Folks aren't going to recruit you. They're not going to see that. And you actually turned the tide on that, the first one to sign in college. Take me, before we get into the actual signing of it and what's on in the future for you, a little bit of that recruitment process and how that worked out for you.
So yeah, definitely there were some people, there were some naysayers who said it wasn't probably going to happen. Some people who just didn't believe I had the talent to go and get recruited. And the fact that I was at a small school, it definitely didn't make it easier, but I wouldn't say it made it much harder for me. I would say that it came down to my mom and my parents and my coaching staff who was able to give me connections with the right people. I always felt like I had the talent to go play in college. It was just about someone taking a chance on me. And I feel like being at such a small school where the spotlight was directly on me, I was given a place to shine and really show what I was capable of doing, which I felt like was a benefit when it came to my recruiting at the end of the day.
What was it that said Millsaps is where we're going to go? Because and you can show them the shirt that you've got on too. There, representing a little bit of Millsaps College. There, what was it about Millsaps that you said, you know what, that's home for me?
Well, it wasn't. It definitely took a little bit of time to adjust to and grow to, but I came to realize that it was a school that I definitely needed to be at the end of the day. So it's a pretty small private school in Jackson, Mississippi, and they have a big focus on academics, but a good sports culture and a good culture in the area. And just I ended up getting contacted by one of the coaches, and he wanted some film, wanted a little bit of information, told me to come down and have a little visit and to decide if I would be interested in coming to play along with him. And at that point, I didn't know much about the college, but when I got there and my feet touched the ground, I just knew I had to go there for the fall. And from that point on, my focus was really on playing basketball at Millsaps.
Well, I think that's tremendous. But athletics isn't necessarily the top of what you're striving for either. Too, you've got some pretty good plans as it comes to the education side. Tell us about that.
So I'm majoring in pre-med biology and hoping to become a doctor in the near future. Being a doctor to me, it just means a lot because my focus is really on just being able to help people, being able to make a really huge benefit in somebody's life at any point and just being there for people.
And it's not terrible that you get to play basketball along the way.
No, it's not.
That's great. We're excited about following you. And the good thing about Millsaps is they play, being there in Jackson, there's opportunities here locally for folks to still be able to keep up with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have a friend who's heading up to Centenary College. He's playing baseball up there. And I think our two schools are going to end up playing during the season. So he's going to come up there to play some baseball. I may come down here to play some basketball. And being able to have just a family down here and making good relationships up there, it spreads that love that the game can only do. You can only really build those kind of connections through sports. And it's just so fantastic we're able to do that.
Look, that's so good. Jordan, as you look back and you talk to somebody that says, hey, going Bishop Noland, going to EDS, going that small school route, it's special because of this. What's your 30-second elevator pitch to somebody that's considering high schooling, prepping at a school like Bishop Noland?
Bishop Nolan really just means the world to me, man. And the stuff that I was able to accomplish and the person I am today is definitely a result of me being at Bishop Nolan. I don't think I would be nearly in the same position to accomplish the things I've accomplished or be the the type of leader I am today if not for Bishop Noland. They took somebody who really wasn't getting a lot of attention, who wasn't getting enough time, enough help, and just really elevated me in both my academics, my leadership qualities, and along with my sports. It's just a great place to be. The family dynamic, the teachers, the students, they all really care for you over there.
What do you look at this summer and the off season before you report? You should be reporting pretty soon, huh? When do you
Yes,
get
sir. August
when do you
11th.
get to the college?
August 11th.
August 11th. So you're getting there pretty quick. What do you work on between the end of the season when you raise the trophy to when you step on campus here in Jackson?
Definitely tightening up parts of my game that I feel like would be beneficial as a point guard in college basketball. A big emphasis on building up strength and athleticism and durability, knowing that my seasons are going to get longer, my course load is going to be heavier, and I need to focus a little bit more.
So at home, what do you think is your driving force, Jordan? What spurs you on?
Definitely the relationship and the teachings I've gotten from my mom over the years. She's from a mom who came from never playing any type of basketball and just ended up with a cheerleader who saw a lot of basketball. She has a big focus on sports in my household, and we're a very basketball-led house. My dad played Division I basketball, and my mom was always so big into sports. My relationship with her has definitely been the driving force behind how I play and the way I approach the game and the way I learn to deal with losses and wins in general.
Look, that's such a special relationship, and I know, and you can testify to this too. There's probably hundreds of moms in the gym screaming, and you can pick yours out just like everybody else can out of the crowd.
Well, I'd have to say everyone can pick my mom's voice out because she's going to be the loudest regardless. I promise you, I come back to school and I'm talking to all my cheerleader friends, and my mom is the favorite out of all the moms because she's going to be doing the chants better than anybody else in the gym.
Give me a couple of memories from your time there. Take out basketball. Some memories there that you have that stood out to you in your high school career.
Away from basketball, definitely just the homecoming event and the homecoming week in general. Our school did homecoming a little differently. We don't have a football centered homecoming because we're a small school. We don't have a football team. Our homecoming is centered around basketball, which I feel like brings a different feel. You're in the gym, you can pack out the house a lot easier, and the vibes are really just high in the events that we put on leading up to homecoming.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? This is what I've got a question for you. You're the second graduating class that's out of Bishop Noland. Who was coming home? Who did you got? You had last year's class back for their 1 year reunion?
Yeah, they were there. But as I said, how we were located in the Graywood plantation, that's just like our little Graywood family. They really do come out and pack out the house for us. We have a pretty good population of people who love to come and show their support for the school, even if they don't have kids who are at the school.
Look, I love it, and I'm just giving you a little grief on that. I can't wait to see when your class is back for your 10-year reunion at the school and how special that is. And my friend, it'll be here before you know it. So enjoy every bit of it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So yeah, so when you first got onto campus there, your first week, you'd been at a school of 400 to 500 people. Now you're at a school of about 40 or 50 people. Tell me about that.
It was definitely an adjustment going into classes before when I had 30 to 35 different people in there. And then going to a school where I'm having maybe 12, maybe three people in the class. It definitely took some time to get used to, but I definitely saw the benefit at the end of the day, just having a lot more time for teacher one-on-one time, focus time. And it really built on more discipline and understanding that, hey, I got to get my schoolwork done. The course load is going to be a little more rigorous. Let's lock down and get done what we need to do.
It seems to me, and I know the sports side of it too, teammates lift each other up because you're just a smaller group, whether it's a football team, whether it's baseball, whatever it is. Do you find that at Bishop Noland where everybody's responsible or accountable for each other and lifting up for the common good?
I would just say in sports in general, even outside of sports in the academic world, when it comes to Bishop Noland, a lot of those kids are just really accomplished focused. They really want to go out there and accomplish big things and put things on in the community. I know outside of basketball, our student council and our NHS organizations go out and put on a lot of big events for the community. They love being a part and being a ally to the community, just putting stuff on for the people in our area.
What do you do to take that to Jackson, Mississippi with you?
Definitely the leadership qualities I've learned along the way. So I was a part of the student council and NHS. So I was at a lot of the events, having to spearhead a lot of organizations, a lot of committees. I plan to go to Jackson and just be able to go out there, show my leadership ability, and to help make a positive impact for everybody in the area and in the community.
All right, one last bit for you, and then we'll be and we'll wrap this up because I know that your time's valuable. Signing day itself. I saw the excitement. I saw the smile. You had a lot of folks there with you too. How special was that moment sitting there when you put pen to paper?
Signing day for me was definitely the accumulation of all the years of hard work, all the years of not knowing if this was really going to pan out the way I wanted to, not knowing if I was even going to be able to sit down and put the pen to the paper. So being able to have all my friends and family there, having all my coaches, all my friends, my teammates, all the people who supported me when I was at my lowest, and just to be able to say thank God for the opportunity. It meant the world to me knowing that I had made it to the next step in my journey and that all the hard work paid off.
Well, Jordan, that is awesome. We're glad to hear it, and certainly glad that you took the time to sit down and visit with us too. Look forward to following your career there at Millsaps. Congratulations on a tremendous career at Bishop Noland, capping it off with that state title, and we look forward to what the future holds for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.